yo guys, what's up? It is Captain C. Welcome back. It is great to be back. And no, we are not playing Fortnite. We're just chatting. Um, Now for the Super Bowl for the Cardinals, I do not have the game with me. That's at my mom's house. I'm at my dad's house. So I just don't have that. Sorry guys. But yeah, I have a lot to catch up with you guys on. So first off, regarding my employment, I did text a few friends. When you're unemployed and you want to be employed, do not hide it from everybody. Tell everybody, and have them, kind of, see, maybe their company is hiring, or maybe they know a good job to look at, to look towards, and which direction to lead you over. Um, Now I almost got offered a probably a 90 to 95% sure gig. Um, I asked my friend, his name was Justin, and he said that his company was hiring. Um, but he's a mechanic. He's a mechanic over at somewhere, and they were hiring for like truck cleaners. And I'm pretty sure it was a very hands-on, dirty job. And I decided not to. I decided not to do it, and it would have been a basically guaranteed job. But two things on my resume, it's all retail. Um, so and I would rather work retail. Um, but having a job like that would kind of ruin the whole like retail vibe on my resume, in my opinion. And it's just not me. I've never been into trucks, and it would have been, I would rather do something with customer service, walking around a store and, walking around a store and helping customers, stocking shelves, that type of thing, than getting my hands and knees dirty. And it's like, hey, you know, you can call me lazy, but one thing about this country is that it's a free country. You can choose what jobs to pick and apply for. And it's just I would rather do this. Now the tough thing about it was that it was almost a guaranteed job because I knew somebody. I knew somebody. What do you know somebody within the company? It makes it so much easier. You have an inside man. You know how the saying goes. So it was tough, but so yeah, and like today, I did nothing today. I did some laundry, some dishes, and I walked over into town, got Starbucks. Didn't even finish my coffee, by the way. Um, um, I had so much caffeine today, it was actually kind of bothering me because I had morning coffee, then I had two Arnold Palmer iced teas, and then have a Starbucks iced coffee, and I was feeling it. My body was feeling it. It's like, I mean, that it was a lot. um, which I knew it was probably going to happen, and or my body was gonna feel it. I just wanted to get out of the house, and Starbucks was just kind of something there. So I'm like, oh, let's walk over to Starbucks. Um, so I didn't really want the coffee. I just wanted to get out of the house. I mean, um, but yeah. So, another thing today, I went to my little brother's. I went to Colin's baseball game. Their team didn't do so hot, and I can tell you from being a former umpire, a former coach, being on the fan side of the fence or parent side of the fence is so much different than than being inside the field, whether it's an umpire or a coach. And I don't like being on the parent side of the fence. it's just me. So, um, I do have a feeling that I will probably umpire the a little bit just to kind of, do something and um so I mean, it is what it is. I I really like coaching. I really like coaching last year, and maybe I can kind of try to, you know, do some coaching. I can't coach for my brother's team now. At least not at this position, because he's on a travel team, and first I need to figure out what I'm doing, um, employment wise. So, uh, but anyways, um, but yeah, guys, if you're looking for a government job, I mean, um, which that is what I'm looking at. Some tips. Well, look at all of these different things. First of all, you have your local government. All right, your town. All right, so say you live in a town called Maple Leaf. All right. You can go to mapleleaf.org or whatever is .gov. I should say not. It's not an organization. It's a government site. So .gov, and then you can see jobs there. And then you can and look at um you can also check your surrounding towns too. Um, depending on travel. Second of all is the county you live in. So say you live in, Supreme County. All right, type in Supreme County, click on employment, see what you got there. And now another one that people don't really look at, and I recommend you do because it probably pays the best, is your state government. And I thought, state government, such as for Illinois, that's probably all at Springfield, so you know, because that's where the whatever it is. So so I'm like, no, but actually it's all over the place. So it's definitely a so it's definitely worth looking into. And then you can check out the Postal Service, um, which I'm still waiting for that to go through. Um, but yeah, so a few tips, and that's what I'm trying to do. Um, I saw this one job, and it actually pays pretty decent. But it's like 45 minutes away from where I live. Probably 30 minutes away from where my mom lives. It's this like security. So to be honest, I think it's security for like mental children, I think, or something like that. So and I think it pays between like 3,000. Like I think it pays between like 3,000 to $4,500 a. Let's just say it pays $3,900. All right, a month. That's not too bad because over at Costco, I was making roughly $1,000 every 2 weeks. So yeah, and that was not a full time position, and that was without benefits and all that. Um, so I'm like, dude, that's actually not too bad. So I'm trying to think if I was working 6 out of 7 days a week at Costco, or I think I got 2 days off and stuff. But anyways, I was like, man, that's actually not too bad, and I don't think it needed any experience or anything. Um, but I'm like, that's a long drive. I can tell you, all right. I'll just say the town that I'm talking about. Um, all right. I'm not gonna say it, but this town that I'm talking about. Let's call it. Let's call it. Let's say the town is called Pepsi. All right. I was looking at a Coke fridge, but I'm like a town call. Coke doesn't really make sense, or a Coca-Cola fridge. That's what I have down here, or down here a mini Coca-Cola fridge. But anyways, the Pepsi town is like 45 minutes away, but and it's not even like a fancy town or anything, but this town always has government jobs available. I swear, whether we're talking local government or the post office or the Illinois state government, I mean, there is government jobs in this town. And the only tough part is that now I used to live in a town more near to there, probably like a probably like a 20-minute drive, maybe even less than that, but I don't live in that town nearby anymore. So instead of a 20-minute drive, it's more like a 30 to 45-minute drive. So it's really unfortunate because if I still live in I really wish I lived in well, where I used to live at my mom's old house, because I didn't realize it, but man, there was more jobs over near there. There really is. Um, but anyways, it's but but yeah, I'm trying for the post office. Um, it's just not going through. Um, I don't know, guys, because I really and now another situation is that my one of my friends, Anton, he just got a job at a store. I'm not gonna say which one. Um, but and he wants me to get a job over there. And I'm like, I don't know about it. But I really thought about it, and I'm like, dude, working with him would be pretty nice. It really would be. So, but the only problem is my stepdad works there too. All right, it is a retail store, and I'm like, not because the thing is, that's my stepdad's career over there, so I don't want to, bounce in there, and it's like, damn it. I mean, and the thing is, I don't have a job, so um, now I wouldn't work for his department, but I don't know. But it would be interesting. It really would be interesting to kind of see see what work environment that my stepdad kind of does. Now I'm not going to be working for his department, but it would be very interesting, and because I'm pretty sure there's a no family policy there. So, and I really so I need to, like, I think I mentioned it to him, but I never had a full conversation because I told him, I'm not really looking at Menards. I really don't want to work there. But but my friend kind of talked me into it, and I'm actually kind of down for it. So I tried calling him 3 times, but he's at work. I called him at different times. Like I called him at like 10:50. Then I called him at like at like 2:40. Then I called him at like 8. So it was widespread. It wasn't like a back to back to back type of thing, or 3 times within 1 hour. Um, but so I don't know. Well, but it would be really cool to work with a buddy. So yeah. So uh, and my brother Jeremiah, which I never thought this day would come. I really didn't. But he actually landed a fucking interview, and which I always nagged him on not having a job. Um, and he really didn't show a lot of effort towards it. I mean, he never like called in to like show his interest or anything. But he actually landed an interview over at PetSmart. So I'll say the company. I'll say the company. So yes, it is PetSmart, and which actually I wonder how he's doing, because for me now, interviews don't bother me. I've been on enough, and um but yeah, I've been on enough interviews, and honestly, just think of it as, something you got to do, and you need to talk to them. You need to talk to them. Don't think of it as a questioning thing. Like, it's something you have to do, and you need to talk to them to get the job. You just have to have a conversation, and if they so happen to ask you questions, and I find it, and it's so true what my grandpa told me. Told me there's some jobs, that you go for, but you don't really want the job, or say, you don't really need the job. I guess you could say, which most times you do need the job, um, but a job that you don't really want, and you go in there and you're more relaxed, because you're like, yeah, I don't really want this job, but you aren't nervous because you have quote unquote nothing to lose, or minimally to lose, or you know what I mean. And then they offer you that job because you landed that interview. So it happened to me. I'll say 1.5 times, because for the government center, the I I was applying for a janitor job, which actually would have been a pretty cool job. I didn't get it. I think I was too honest in that interview, but I was very relaxed because I'm like, dude, janitor job. I don't really want this job. Um, but then I found out that it was actually, some chill people, and and I would be cleaning like courtrooms and the judges' chambers, and I was like, oh, wow, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, that's pretty cool. So more as the interview went on, I'm like, man, I thought this was going to be like a shitty job, but it's actually not too bad. It would actually be a pretty cool gig. But I was too honest, because I was telling them, oh yeah, I'm trying for the postal service and some of these government jobs, and I found out that the postal service pays blah blah, which is not what I would be making there. Post office was pay more, and um, well, we had a very nice conversation, but just didn't follow through. Um, so maybe that might have hurt me, but nevertheless, it was a good conversation. The tough part was that you needed a driver's license, which I didn't have one, which they didn't ask for one yet. But then my dad was running late on picking me up, and they might have saw me sitting out there, and waiting for my ride, and they might, which actually 1 week later, license I got my license, or maybe 2 weeks later, something like that, I got my license. Um, After that, so it was just kind of like a man, only if, but um, then second thing was Mariano's, which I was actually trying to land that job. Um, and I think that was just an interview when just a classic interview, and I survived it, and I really it was not my first interview, you know, which I found out I was expecting 14.50 an hour, or hoping for that number, and they told me 11.50. And what I wish I did was be like, because I somebody at Jewel told me that Mariano's offered them 14.50 an hour. So I'm like, oh shoot, 14.50. But he had more experience than me, so I was thinking, okay, I might not get 14.50, but they might hit back with me around maybe between $12, $13 an hour, and then They told me 11.50, and I should have been like, blah blah, 14.50. I was told, blah blah. That's the main reason I'm here. Are you sure you can't go more higher than that? And be like, no, unfortunately we can. And it's like, and what position you want me to do again? Oh, that position, hot foods. And be like, in all honesty, I probably would have been like, okay, I'm not comfortable with 11.50. Um, that is not what I was expecting. Can you? What I would have either done was be like, listen, I'll do. If you can bring it up to $12 an hour, and if I can work produce, I'll do that because I did produce before and I can do it again. But I didn't, and I'm thirsty. I need water. My biggest mistake, guys, was choosing Mariano's or Jewel after I got laid off from Costco. And it was go left or go right, and I picked the wrong way. So I applied for the other Jewel Osco, and I just did that today. I was like, do I want to do it? But I just applied, and I should. I'm going to call Jewel tomorrow, and I'll try to speak with him. And I usually you give it a few days, but I'm in a rush to get a job or whatever. And I'll call him and I'll tell him, hey, yeah, and I'll tell him, hey, oh man, oh somebody's up. They say, hey, I just applied for produce um yesterday, and I know give it a few days. I should give it a few days, but I just wanted to try to, I'm hungry for a job, and um yeah, I have worked for Jewel before. I worked over at the Woodstock location. Then I went over to Costco, and I'll try to round it up. Um, you know, I it's kind of tough because I kind of wanna fit everything quickly, and I want to get through I was trying for the career position, after I got laid off from Costco. I tried to get into the postal service, into the county government, you know, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to land any of those roles. And honestly, what I would like to do is just something that I've done before, and and I've done produce before, so uh, and um, and I I I think that's pretty good, by telling them, hey, hey, I tried to land the big boy job, hasn't happened, and I'm looking for a job, and I'm desperate for one. Um, and I would like to do something that I have done before, and that's produce, and that's with a Jewel company. And they may ask the um, and they may ask well, so why Crystal Lake? Why not just go back to Woodstock? And I'll do two things. I'll say first of all um I'm living over at my mom's house, which is in Crystal Lake, before I was living at my dad's. Plus my best friend no longer works at that location, so that's kind of another incentive to change it up. And and honestly, I kind of want to meet new people. Um, I won't say the meet new people, which that part is true because I am looking for a girlfriend. Um, and I've kind of been there already, So, um, and honestly, I have tried for the Woodstock location, and actually, I, and actually I was supposed to call up the Jewel Woodstock manager like 2 weeks ago. Um, but the post office started showing up, and little hints of a possible job there, so I didn't want to call up and blah blah blah. Um, so uh, it's crazy. It really is, but I wonder how it'll go because I was working over at the I was I was working over at a Kroger company, which was the union, and I didn't leave on good terms, but I left on Jewel on good terms, so it'll be interesting how that all plays out. But I don't know, it's tough, guys. It really is, and right now, I really just I would like a job. And one thing is that the two locations is so different from what I can tell, and my buddy Anton would say the same thing. The Jewel and I'll just say the names. The Jewel in Woodstock that I used to work at is a picture at the Wild West. All right, all right. Shit can get crazy. Shit is just it's looser. It's more you know picture picture guns blazing. It's the Wild West. Like shit can get done, but it's the law and order is not very or if you guys know what I mean. Like you can I don't know. It's I guess I can say it's strict in the morning time, but the nighttime it's kind of, I don't know. But then over at Jewel and Crystal Lake, I have a feeling it is not the Wild West. It is nice law and order. So, and one reason that I want to work over Jewel and Produce, not only that I've done the job before, but not only have I done the job before, the but because of I'm used to easygoing the easygoing nighttime shifts. The shifts at nighttime, like, we got shit done, but it was very laid back, and that's kind of what I would like to do again. Um, so I mean, it's just I mean, but I have a feeling over at Chris. I have a feeling at the other Jewel Costco is not going to be like that because when Anton and I visited the Crystal Lake Jewel, yeah, I'm just saying the names now, but visiting when we visited that jewel, everything was so spotless and perfect at the jewel. We were a little bit shocked. We were like, holy cow, this department looks perfect. And it was probably like I was thinking 1014 randomly, and I'm like, wow, that number is very exact, but it's actually 1014, 1015 over here. Is that a 6 or a 5? Yeah, it's a 5. Yeah, it was 1014. Now it's 1015. But anyways, it was shortly after the department like closed up. Um, not right after, but so I have a feeling that it might be more, strict or whatever. So I mean, and the thing is that over at the Woodstock Jewel, I cannot get back in there. I mean, not at least not in produce. For some odd reason, that manager, like, which I'm surprised, but he wants nothing to do with me. Wait, and it's like I don't know why, but he it's so odd. I mean that he like has. I don't think anybody has like hated me that much. Like I don't know, like, and I can't think of anything. I just wasn't. I was a slacker, I guess he thought I was. It's 10:16 now. But but I mean, if you ask anybody else in that department, I'm talking, assistant manager, the well-respected older fellows, the everybody. I mean, nobody would have a problem with me, but it's just he thought I was like the worst employee ever. It was very odd. I mean, so but I really loved my job. I mean, it was yeah. So I mean, but anyways, it was. I don't know. It's a tough situation, guys. I really want to. I don't know. It's a tough situation, and I mean, it was so nice, guys, when I was at Costco, and I'm like, man, look at me, I got fired from produce, um, and which was a which was a horrible tragedy. There was 2 days where it was like so bad for me, like it was so bad for me. I mean, and I was like, and it was a horrible thing, and I can tell you that I am proud of doing this, where I took a very bad thing and it ended up being a really good thing because I found Costco and it was really great. You know, like it was something that you know I fell down and I got back up again, and I stood higher than I ever have before, which was great. And the bad thing was that first off, Costco said that they that seasonal that they hire back seasonals, you know, around 2 months, 3 months. I never got a call, and the one of the Costco guys who was actually a produce worker said that he said that he got hired back in 2 weeks, like years ago. And I'm like, oh really? I mean, so I was like, hey, there's a chance I might get hired back in 2 weeks. Well, that never happened. So, so yeah, it is. And the tough thing is that I have high expectations. Man, there's a bug on the TV screen. I have high expectations now after doing Costco because Costco was a very well-paying place, and look at all these alerts I got. Hi, Chris. We wanted to follow up on a job opportunity share with you a few days ago. It was a great win by the Bulls today. I can tell you how many times that I have tried to get a gig over at Trader Joe's. Dude, Costco was hiring for a stalker. Bro, I could be that stalker for crying out loud. I should really call the HR person tomorrow. Um, which, I mean, we always got along pretty well. I can't believe I can literally picture her face in my mind right now, which is kind of odd. Like, I mean, I was like, wow, I can't believe I haven't seen her in a long time, but I can recall what she looks like. Anyways, but it says online that they're hiring for the position that I used to do. Dude, they are hiring these positions for full time. They like never give out full time. But it says right here, like, I mean, I'm looking at like, what is this, like Glassdoor or something? High, higher. That's literally what it's called. But anyways, it looks like they're hiring. Dude, wait, that says from 24 days ago. Well, they are more than welcome to give me a call. And actually, I was going to call them like a week ago, but I decided not to because my shoulder was hurting, or like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to like show up and I start working on the job, and then because I mean it was really bad. I mean I could not pick up a bike out of the back of a car. Like that's how bad it was. But after doing physical therapy and working on my shoulder, it's actually doing quite well. But and then some of this is I'm trying to look, and most of these are like 24 days ago, 1 month ago. Wait, now this is for Mount Prospect. Alright, so it says Stalker Costco from 2 days ago. Then Stalker 24 days ago. Now, the only thing is that what might have hurt me was that I remember I was in the break. What the thing was that wherever I go, and this seems to happen wherever I go, but I make friends at the place that I'm working, and I make enemies at the place where I'm working. But usually, what it is that I make 9 out of 10 friends, then I make one enemy. I'm not even joking. This literally happens. I mean, I make a lot of friends, but and I think I blame a lot of time. I did this even before. I remember at umpiring, there was this other umpire, and I was like, man, I really hate this guy. Um, but at Jewel, obviously, Lenny. I think Lenny was my produce boss. I think he was really my only enemy. Um, um, but um, but at Costco, and I blame this for Costco. When I went over to Costco, I came from a environment that was like the Wild West, and I brought that mentality to Costco where over at Jewel, at least in the produce, it was um one of my I call it senior advisor, but I mean I called him Crazy Chris. I mean, he might have had a few screws loose, but he was a great guy. But I mean, you kind of everybody ended up having kind of like a strict like mindset, that you can get like defensive. You can get defensive, and if somebody is giving you some lip, you give them some lip back. I mean, it was, but it was kind of normal over at Jewel, and I brought that mindset to Costco. But like I started off at Costco because and I kind of had this strategy, and it was true. But over at when I was in front end, I kind of had this innocent kid vibe, and then and then at produce they just like that lasted for so long, and then it was just kind of like no. Um, but I started off as being this energetic, you know um yes sir no sir kid, and then I more as I went on, and at Costco they had this mentality of you know like you have to hustle, you have to be the best worker ever, you have to hustle, you have to prove yourself. And I did that for probably 2/3 of my time there, but let's say 3/4. And then the last part, it was just like, hey, I'm tired of trying to prove myself to you guys. I understand that I'm seasonal and I'm fighting for my job, but but I'm done. I'm done. I'm gonna put in my 2 cents, and then that's it. So um but I got to defensive, and I wish that I told one person, which because he noticed, and we actually had a exchange. Because it was actually on my last day. That he said that I'm giving him attitude, and he's getting sick of it. And I remember he even timed me off of my break, because he noticed I was taking extra long breaks. Like if I was on a 15-minute break, I would take like a 20-minute break. But the thing was, at my old job over at Produce, I mean, like I did that, and I never saw any consequences of doing that. And then over at Costco, um, I was doing 15, and then soon enough, I started stretching a little bit. But the thing was, I got away with it over at Jewel, so I tried it at Costco, and I was actually getting away with it. But then he started, but I guess he timed me, and and I'm like, seriously? I mean, so it was kind of like and I should have told him, and I should have told him straight up, because the thing is that he was um, I'll say he was I don't know if he was respected, but he was a full-time employee, and not everybody gets to be full-time at Costco, but he was trying to be a manager. Um, and he was trying for that career path of over. Oh my gosh, how many times has he mentioned that he was a liquor manager? Oh, well, one thing at Costco that I noticed is that a lot of people is middle-aged people who has failed at a previous, job or something, and then they come to Costco and try to, support themselves and try to make a last-minute retail career at Costco. And that he was a liquor manager at some liquor store, and now he's over at Costco trying to become a manager. And he and but what I should have told him, to try to at least defend myself and have a rational conversation. And I should have been like, hey, you know, um, I think that you think that I'm slacking, and that and I and the things that you think that I'm doing wrong, it is probably because of my environment that I came from over at Jewel. Um, my where I came from, it was like the Wild West of the retail. Um, you know, we, I swear, everybody at Jewel in my department gave lip to each other. Um, we, it was horrible management. It was it was always, you were trying to defend yourself from somebody else's criticism. Um, every everybody took like 20-minute breaks over at Jewel when you were supposed to take 15. Um, the managers, they would be on a 30-minute lunch that would turn out to be like a 50-minute lunch, and I need to and I need to realize that I'm no longer at Jewel, and I need to realize that this place is much better run, and it is. So I just letting you know that's the environment that I came from, and and um and I this is me kind of trying to defend myself here. So um and try to go along with that. Um, so and it's like something that I mentioned over at Costco. A baker, she was in the break room and she was talking about baking cakes, and I made a joke regarding the oh yeah, bake one, eat one, bake one, eat one, and she was like, what? Like, she was silent. She was like flabbergasted that I said that, and I told her, oh yeah, I was a fruit chopper over at Jewel, and we would chop a strawberry, eat a strawberry, chop a strawberry, eat a strawberry. And she was like amazed. And I was it was and I'm like, dude, what's the big problem? But over at Costco, like they don't play. They don't play, man. I mean, but it's ran very well, I guess, over at Costco, and I think the thing is that over at Jewel, I mean, at least not anymore. The people over at Jewel don't, that's not their career, or at least, what I like to say a lot is that over at Jewel, most of the time, it is either teenagers or it is older folks who's made a career out of that. So, such as you either have teenagers or people, well, who have worked there for like 30 to 40 years. And, there is not much in the middle. I would say probably grocery. Grocery has the most people in the middle, but in front end and over at front end, a lot of times produce, to be honest. That's where you have the teenagers and older folks mixed together. But yeah, so that's. But I just I need to find a job, and a big part of that is that being at home, especially in my dad's house. I mean, first off, he before at least last week, he was giving me chore after he was giving me chores to accomplish while I'm home, and it's like, why are you doing this? You know, and I understand I'm home doing nothing, and and also sometimes it's like he seems to be in a bad mood or whatever and things like that, um but the thing is, if I'm working, he can't really tell me to do chores, or it's not as easy. It's not as easy. If I'm working like if I don't start work till like 3, he's gonna be like, hey, get this and this done at the house. But if I'm working throughout the day, or or he can't he can't give me any problems or run into his bad moods if he has any if I'm not home. You know, if I'm gone all day, you know, I'm not gonna run into him. So, but yeah, I'll tomorrow I'll probably call Amanda over at Costco, which I don't know how that's going to go. Um, that's going to be interesting. Um, because Amanda wasn't my boss. She is HR, or I think she might really run front. But anyways, it's kind of one of those things where you're like, man, I really don't want to, but let's give it a go. So I'll call her tomorrow, and I don't know how I'll say it. I'll just probably say, hey, it's Curtis. Um, so I don't know how I'll just I don't know what I'll say. I think I'll say, you know, hey, all right, let's try to play it like you only have one shot at this. Be like, hey Amanda, it's Curtis. Um, I don't know if you remember me. um, I'll try to get down to the point. I'll say, hey Amanda, it is ah ah crap. Hey Amanda, it's Curtis. Uh, you know, old night merch person. Um, I'm sure you already know why I'm calling, um, but but I'm looking for. All right, you fucked it up. All right. Hey Amanda. Hey Amanda. It's Curtis, the old night merch guy. I just wanted to give you guys a call and say that. Are you guys hiring back the seasonals yet? That's probably not. And 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 what I have a feeling is that she'll say if we need you, we'll call you, something like that. But yet again, she might ask have you found a place to have you found a job around this time? And I'm not gonna mention the Marianos. And I'll say oh yeah, I well, when I left you guys, I really started trying to hunt down a government job because I was really trying to land that, um, to land that career job. I'm 20 years old and I really kind of want to, I was looking forward to step out of retail. Um, I tried local government, mostly county government and the post office, and I've recently been searching up on the Illinois government website, like for state. It hasn't gone very well, and that's one of the reasons that I'm calling you guys and seeing if, and I want to try to lay it out hey, I don't care if you guys give me 12 hours a week or 48 hours a week, or um, but and actually I and actually I was searching online and I saw that there was a um that it said Costco and looking for a stalker, and it was from like 2 days ago. I'm not quite sure what site it was. I don't know if it was a reliable site. I mean, I don't know, something like that. But But I always got along with Amanda though. I always got along with Amanda. I never ran into any issues. I really don't think I did. I remember she was questioning me on a possible injury that a fellow coworker had, and I tried to explain it to her, and I really hope that she didn't think I was quote unquote mansplaining, because I know that's the thing. Because I was just trying to be descriptive, and I really hope that she didn't think I was trying to mansplain. I hope she isn't one of those people, because I don't care if I would have explained it the exact same way if she was a guy. So, but that's kind of in the back of my head. I really hope that she didn't think that it was like one of those things. So, because really, if she thought that I was quote unquote mansplaining, she's gonna be like, oh yeah, call if we need you, we'll call you. All right, catch you later, bye. So I really hope it's not the thing, because that I really hope that she didn't think, but it does come to mind, and I remember leaving that conversation and being like, man, the um maybe I could have explained a little bit better or something. I don't know. So or maybe I should have gotten into the point more or something, because it was a serious thing, because it was because he was out of work for a small amount of days. For I think he was out of work for like 2 or 3 days, and I knew it was important because because the company would probably have to pay for those few days while he got better. So, but anyways, um, but anyways, yeah, but I really hope that. Yeah, and actually, my brother, like I told you guys, is he has a gig over at or interview over at PetSmart. Now I'm thinking, in there is nothing like a brother rivalry, and so far I was always ahead on the whole job thing, because there was a big chunk of time where I had a job and he didn't. So, um, but I'm really going to try to get a job now, and but now, if he has a job, it's going to be interesting how he transports himself to this job. And there's two things. There's the parents, which actually my mom is going to try to get a job, and I actually think that she might be starting to get a little picky, because I showed her a manager job, and that would be full time, good benefits, good pay, and she should apply for it, but she didn't want to who apply for it because she didn't think she would enjoy it. Which, yeah, I get that, but she's going to have to start supporting herself, because she's leaving my stepdad, and they're getting a divorce, so they're um and I guess she's going to um and I guess she is going to work for a friend, which she could be a manager for, but she doesn't want to take the manager job yet. She wants to just be a normal employee, but also it's like, you know it's like, you do realize that you're going to have to, like, literally support yourself. Like, I mean, you are literally going to have to you're going to have to pay for a apartment, car payments, phone payments. I mean, you know, where's the urgency on that matter? Plus, my little brother is supposed to be, like, be homeschooled. I don't know how you're supposed to, like, homeschool somebody when you have to, like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, but yeah. So I guess I'll call Amanda and try to. Oh man. But yeah, I'll call up Amanda and try to see what can happen, and I'll try to say, hey, I just want to let you know I am highly interested in anything you guys have to offer, and and if you guys give me a call, my answer is gonna be a yes. So I don't try to do it that way, but a lot of time, from what I've heard, it was always, oh, Costco will give you a call. Costco will give you a call. Not, it was always Costco would give you a call, and and I really wish I had a guy on the inside. There was this one guy who worked over at Costco. Um, his name was Manny, and I swear it was just like once I left Costco. I mean, and I tried to dig in. I tried to get some inside info. The seasonals is are they hiring back seasonals yet? Are they? And he would not reply to me. So it was kind of like, okay, okay. But he was an interesting fellow. He really was. I mean, he. That's all I'm gonna say. He was an interesting guy. He was a very interesting guy. Very interesting guy. Hmm. But yeah, it was a very. But yeah, so I mean, it's tough now, and I really feel like, you know, I do feel like what I'm supposed to do is, write a book or whatever, and I'm just not. But uh, but yeah, dude, I need to get a gig. Dude, man, if Costco kept me on, if Costco kept me on, my problems would like not be here. Or if I landed a government gig, like the courtroom specialist that I try for. Um, but like I was getting tired of Costco. I was getting tired of Costco. At the end, it was getting to become a lot for me. It was becoming very draining. But towards the end, my hours was getting cut, and actually it was perfect. I mean, when I left my last week, instead of working 2:30 to 11, it was 4 to 11, and honestly, it was nice. It was nice when I showed up at 4. Like, I mean, the day was like, if I worked 2 hours, it was 6 o'clock, and not like 2:30 to 4:30. I mean, that was perfect for me. That was perfect for me. I was happy with those hours. I was like, oh man, this is nice. Um, but but yeah, the last time I was in on, I think it was December 31st. It was New Year's Eve. I think it was New Year's Eve, and then I came in on one inventory day that was like January. It was like mid-January or something, so which was helpful because I could truthfully say I worked for Costco for Costco. Well, for Costco in the month of January, which was pretty nice. But it's like, oh, when did you leave Costco? January. Yeah, I worked for Costco in January. It was one day, but um, just to kind of shorten the length of unemployment. Which, guys, I've been unemployed for a long ass time because I can't say Mariano's because I'm not gonna put them down. It's like, can't we contact this employer? Wait, how long were you there? It's like, like, like 2 or 3 weeks. But Mariano's was just not the vibe. It was not the vibe. Which I kind of feel bad because they trained me. Like, I mean, I went in quite a bit into Mariano's and did their computer shit, but they were paying me to do that, which was kind of nice. Um, I wonder if they put me on produce, if I would have saved, which I was thinking about trying to switch over to produce. Um, but there was a few days that I had off, and I went over to Woodstock, and I was just like, you know what, I had this courtroom specialist thing going on, or that I might get. Let's just put my chips on that. I'm gonna call Mariano's and actually I was going to walk into Mariano's and say I quit, but my mom told me that's not what you do. Just call them and quit. And I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yes. You don't walk in. But I told Anton about that months later, and he's like, no, that's a dick move. Yeah, you go in there and quit. And it was like, yeah, it was pretty nice knowing that when I was working for Mariano's that yeah, this is probably my last day. It's pretty nice, and nobody else knew it. But I'm like, yeah, this is probably my last day. Yep. But it's going to be interesting, like I said before, with transportation for Jer, for my brother. If he gets that job at PetSmart, I wonder what his hours are going to be like. Who's going to take him? Because it's going to be really tough if. Because let's think about it. I just found out that my grandparents are they're my cousin's schedule is very baseball schedule is very hectic. So my grandparents are going to help him out with that, and then if Jeremiah needs a ride, and say my stepdad is working, and then my mom is doing something regarding, has to be somewhere or something or do something. Um, I wonder if he would actually use a Uber because he said that he does not want to use a Uber. I guess he doesn't feel comfortable doing it. I don't know. Um, but I mean, it would he might have to get his big boy panties on and actually pay for a Uber. Um, because I did it a lot of times because he does not have his license. I don't even know if he has his permit. I don't think he has his permit. Yeah, I don't think he does. And even if he gets his license, he's gonna have to pay for car insurance, which once you have a job, I mean. But yeah. All right, break time. I gotta take a piss. yeah. But yeah. But now this is a crucial time because guys, when those college, excuse me, the when those college kids come back, and there's going to be a flood of them. It's going to be so hard to find a job. What is it, April? It's April 26th. They're probably already on their way. So that's going to be. Let's check Target. Job opportunities. I'm going to look at because I do have a buddy over at Crystal Lake. I think he's at the Crystal Lake one. And I could probably say, hey, city. There's one opportunity in Crystal Lake. Then there's 6 in Algonquin. And they pay pretty well over at there. Where's the Crystal Lake? Okay, anyways. The Algonquin one, specialty sales, team leader, human resources, security specialist, general merchandising, closing. That's exactly what I did over at Costco. I might apply for that one. Alright, so what's over at Crystal Lake? Okay, it says Algonquin. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. Alright, I might actually apply for this one over here because it says general merchandising, closing. That's exactly what I did over at. So, I've literally done this before. This is exactly what I did over at Costco. And it's similar pay. Target pays $15 an hour. And over at Costco, that's what they paid me to do that job. Schedule's variable. Fuck it, let's apply. Let's give it a go. Because I'm not relying on the post office job. I need to apply. And general merchandising, closing, fulfillment. Okay, cool. Let's apply. Oh, fuck. Yeah, let's use my last application. Shoot, last time I applied for Target, I think it might have been right before I went. So we might have to edit it. Yeah, because we need to make sure that the Costco part is in here. Yeah, question mark V. Sign in. I have months to do. Wait, fucking. Sure, let's do that. Man, this is over at Algonquin. That's yet again another hike over to Algonquin. Man, because dude, I used to live in Algonquin, dude, and there is freaking Algonquin. There's so many jobs over in Algonquin, I swear. Being in the town that I live in, now for government wise, it's not too bad because we have a courthouse over here and there's some government jobs there, which is awesome. Um, but my dad lives here, so that's kind of like a job location house. I wish I had a family member who lives in Algonquin. if I get a job in Algonquin and if my mom is looking for an apartment in Algonquin, because I think she wants to get an apartment in Algonquin, but it costs, it's a little bit pricey. But I might be like, hey, I work in Algonquin. Um, maybe we can make something happen here. I don't know, but I really don't want to live with my mom. But it would be nice to have that option. All right, how did you hear about us? Stu job. Let's do career builder. I don't know what this is. Career builder. No. Okay, what's that? Illinois. See, it's partially filled out, which is nice. Save and continue. My experience. Oh, it is on here already. Cool. Alright, let's make sure that it doesn't say I currently work here. Cool. Then front end. Perfect. This is perfect. I'm just gonna say save and continue and we should be good. Application questions. Are you legally authorized for employment in the United States? Yes, I am. If hired, are you able to provide proof of legal? Yes. Are you at least 18 years old? Yes. Do you have experience in beauty? Okay, now this is a interesting question. Because I did stock and worked in a beauty type of thing, but I just stocked it. I just, no, but willing to learn. No, but willing to learn. Do you have experience in style? Apparently, no, but willing to. Experience in sales. Commission sales goes. No, but willing to learn. Do you have experience in food? I'm gonna say yes. How many years of experience do you have? Less. Under 1 year. Retail sales floor. Yes. March. Fuck. Under 1 year. It sucks, but it is under 1 year. Yes. Alright, I don't want to go crazy because right now it's showing me a whole bunch of jobs that I would consider, and I don't want to be one of those people who just clicks all of them. Let's do tech. I don't want cashier. I don't want card attendant. General merchandiser. Fulfillment expert. I can't recall what that is. It might be something with small format team leader, inbound expert, logistics. I really don't want to mess with food. Because is that the. Alright, let's go with that. Oh, whoa. We missed something with these. Opportunities at other nearby target locations? Yes. Put Crystal Lake. Fuck. Non-seasonal. 7 months to a year. What's the earliest time you can work on Sundays? Yeah, I can show up at 7. Oh my gosh. The latest? Oh my god. Fuck it, let's put 6 a.m. Oh shit. Fuck, I should go back and put 6 a.m. Fuck, Chris. Just. I thought it was talking about overnights, but fuck, I fucked it up. Hold on. It always asks for your like skin color and shit. You know, and they always ask, "Are you Hispanic or Latino?" Like, why does it matter? I mean, is that a little racist? All right, let's see how this goes. Submit. There's a good chance I get that job though because I've done it at Costco. Like I did that exact job at Costco. So that's why I'm like, man, I might get this gig. Well, that email came in pretty fast. So we'll see how that goes. You know, Target doesn't pay you shit. I mean, and when I say that, I mean they don't pay you bad. You know, there's other places that pay you worse. So, and I've done that job before, so. But I need to get going on something, and we'll see where that goes. But if they really need somebody, and the fact that I've done that job before, it should, if they really need somebody, I can be their guy. If I can land a interview, I should have it in the bag. Yeah, starting to get tired. Yeah, let's go into type. This should be interesting. Oh shit! Oh. Oh my gosh, dude, this guy was chopping down a tree and I'm pretty sure it landed on his house. Oh, he was a rougher. I don't even know what would happen after that. They would probably sue you. I mean, plus, is anybody in that house? Oh my gosh. I. And he tried to stop it, which was. I mean, he was only. Wow. Oh, it landed on the house. I really want to see like what happened after.
This is the last time I'm helping. Call her. Thanks. Just help.
Oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
How was your mood today?
Her eyes are
it was a little
gorgeous.
bit sad, but you know, um, I'm feeling better now after like 3 hours sitting on here with you guys. Why are you on my For You page? I don't know. It's called Bad by, who is it? Bad. But it's by like Stella Lannon or something. I don't know. You guys, I'm 3,000 away from 80,000.
Get your money, man. Like go. Yes, I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it. Let it take you away and be hopeful. Get your money, man. Like go.
Shows that never should have ended. Part 2.
What shows should have never ended?
Don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened.
Okay.
One last thank you.
Lab Rats. Yeah, I watched it a little bit. Gravity Falls, still didn't watch. Regular Show, I actually did not watch it. Total Drama Island, I did watch that.
Shows that
I only
never
watched
should
one
have
out
ended.
of 4 of those.
Have you ever met someone that just like wanted to uncontrollably the shit out of you? Because
No.
the person that sent you this wants to do so. So let them.
I'm going out with the.
Take you up to the top of the trash heap in just a minute. We're talking about millions in these ventilators. Remember, those were the most. They take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When
What
you
is
try
that?
me with a sorry receiver like Catchin, that's the result you're gonna get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Catchin, don't you open your mouth about this.
They take me through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game.
Racially, you are, how would you identify as white? Or,
Black.
That's an offensive term, though, no? The B word?
Black?
That's slightly offensive.
Not to me, it isn't.
Isn't it Afro-marginalized?
No, I never heard of that.
Because you...
Well,
You're from Oregon, I'm from South Carolina, he's from Georgia. He's a black man.
right.
He's a black man.
well, I wouldn't slap him on the shoulder and say he's a B-man. That came off as very condescending. Are you okay? Okay, so how would you feel if your daughter had a black pimp?
I would not be pleased. First of all, my daughter would never be involved with any pimp, so it's an irrelevant question. Let's move to the next topic because we're not getting anywhere.
Okay, well let's I agree. Let's try and bridge the divide somewhat. What was your favorite scene in Moonlight?
I did not see Moonlight, unfortunately, so I can't comment.
You did not see Moonlight. Racially, you are how
Okay,
would you
this is
identify
very
as white?
interesting.
And equal rights for all 24 genders. 2 weeks after the election was stolen from President Hillary Clinton, I managed to get out of bed. I've been cycling through our fractured nation to try and heal the divide. I needed to find out why the Afro-diasporic community did not vote for Hillary. The only way I could think to truly bridge this racial divide was to mediate a dialogue between two natural enemies.
There's an honest, proven conservative, Chip Limehouse. He's a successful small...
A wretched white politician from South Carolina and a genius gangster rapper from Atlanta.
My name is Chip Limehouse, and I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm formerly a state legislator in South Carolina.
Yeah, I'm Bone Crusher. I'm a local artist here in Atlanta, and I've done a lot of music with a lot of people. I've enjoyed life.
And equal rights for all 24 genders. What was your favorite scene in Moonlight?
I did not see Moonlight, unfortunately, so I can't comment.
You did not see Moonlight, the Oscar-winning Moonlight. You did not see the winner of the Oscar. Sorry, I did not mean to...
Is your hearing bad? I just said I did not see Moonlight.
He did not see Moonlight. Can you believe that?
I haven't seen it either.
What?
I haven't seen it either.
Go ahead, next question, because we didn't see Moonlight.
Okay, well, let's talk about rap. Let's talk
Is that
about
okay?
rap.
Let's talk about. If you want to.
Yes, I would like to.
Whatever you want to do, Naira.
If I may quote one of the great gangster rappers, William Will Smith,
Who?
his works are truly powerful. If I may quote, wiki wild wild, wiki wiki wild, wiki wild, wiki wiki wild, wild wild west, wiki wild, wiki wiki wild wild west.
What?
Do you find those lyrics inspiring? What was your favorite?
What?
Doctorates.
You do?
Yes.
Oh yeah. And what?
Humane letters.
That's not a real doctorate.
Well, it's a doctorate. It's on my wall.
What, did you buy it off the internet?
It's on my wall.
It's important to show respect to people of other cultures. I met a Syrian man in London by the name of Jabi. We got talking, and after...
By the name of. They always say that. I met a particular blah blah by the name of blah blah.
After a few hours, he made love to me.
What?
I am not a homosexual, and I never have been.
Homosexual. You just said a man made love to you. You're not a homosexual. You are a homosexual. If you had sex with another man,
No, I know he had sex with me. My point
What?
is not that he made love to me. It was that when he was inside me, he did a rocking motion with his phallus, and that was
What the
fascinating.
fuck?
He did a kind of swipe up and down with his phallus, which was a rocking motion. And
What
that
the fuck?
was an eye opener, quite literally.
3 doctors.
What the?
Children and pornography.
This must be a comedy.
Have you been doing this the whole time?
Yeah, guys, it's reaching that end. It is. It is reaching the end. I think I've spoken about everything that I wanted to. Yeah, so I just checked. We've been online for 1 hour and 41 minutes, maybe more than that. Yeah, one person, and that was me. Oh. Yeah, guys, this is about it. Alright, guys, I'm signing off. But, alright, that's it,